off the top of the dome one time. Let's see what it is. We out here. Open up the skies in the neighborhood I was raised in. Signs behind, no solicitation, no ball playing and no skating and no waiting and no hating. Sales with no patience. Impatience, the way that it goes. Getting money everywhere that you know. So then it goes. It turns into a different type of mind frame, a mind state. See the way they find lane or find cake. As long as you don't find Jake, and if you do, they want to outline Jake. No promoting it either. Just came where it's at to kick the reel in your speaker off top. Peep game, you know what it is. This your man Skyzoo, Skyzoo, live from the borough. One time getting it here with Theorematic. Let's get it, baby.
Designer sweats off designer plugs. My fan base pedal krills or designer drugs. Money hand over fist like a Steiner glove. Drop Jeep, box seats, what I remind you of. Aura of the city, everything that I came for.
The new album, Music for My Friends, comes out June 23rd via my own imprint, my own label, First Generation Rich. It's a deal I did with a fabulous independent company called Empire, who I've been doing some business with as of recently. Super dope. Love the way they work. But you know, so new album, Music for My Friends. It's my third album, you know, my third solo joint, in a line of all of the, you know, the mixtapes and the EPs and the remix albums and collabo albums and different things. This is the third official solo full-length, you know, album for me, and super proud of it. You know, my best work to date. I feel like anytime you create something new, it should be better than what you did last time. You know, the new stuff should be better than what it was last time. Because if it's not, then you should have stopped the last time. You know, everything is about constant elevation and moving forward. So it's easily my finest work to date, and it's special. It's a special album, Music for My Friends. It's a very special album. It's very important. I feel like it is the most important album of the year. You know, and that's bar none. That's not a pat on the back. That's just a call of what it is. You know, to me, it's the most important album of the year to date, and I don't know if anyone's going to be able to make something as important or more so due to the content and what it's speaking on and what it's about and the angle and everything that I was able to take with it.
I carry on like a wave board, hand and work to whoever like it's my aim gone. Fly murder forever like it's your name, Lord. Devil wear Prada, Hitler wear Hermes, Hobby and Celine with your queen going burlesque.
This is really about situations and things that happen with my friends and I. So if you look at the album cover, you know, which is illustrated by a genius illustrator by the name of Chris Murray, and the album cover it's myself and three of my friends sitting on a stoop, just like the stoop that I grew up on. It's like a stoop where all my friends lived, similar look and everything like that. The idea is us sitting on a stoop on an average day, regular day, just trying to figure things out, and we're about 13, 14 years old in the picture. The album, to me, it's told from the perspective of myself as an adult, current day world, current times, the way I see the world and my outlook on things and the way I react or jump in front of certain things or the way I live life based on the things I was shown at 13, 14 years old in the environment that I'm from, in the neighborhood I'm from, with the people around me that are where I was at the time. And it also shows the perspective of my friends. So really what it is, it's me telling these stories about this is the why we live the way we live. This is the why we move the way we move. We think and act the way we think and act. All of that stuff as adults is based on the way we were raised and the way we grew up when we were 13, 14 years old, which I feel like are your most formative years. I feel like those are the years where, you know, everything starts coming in because it's a weird in-between time. You know, you're 13, 14 years old, whether you're male or female, you're attracted to the opposite sex, but at the same time, you still got a Christmas list that you're giving your parents, and you still want video games and toys, and you still want to go outside, but then you also want to see, you know, what this girl or what this guy is looking like. You know, you're interested in all that, and you're interested in money and cars and things of that nature. At least where I'm from, you know, those things pique your interest right away at 13, 14 years old. But you still got a Christmas list, and you still got to answer to your parents, and you still wear braces, and you still see things from an immature point. So it's a real crossroads. It's where you go from here to there. You know, it's that in between. And I feel like those are the most important years of an adult life, because it's the transition from child to adult in that middle ground. So the album is really the things that happen during those years, that phase, that stage of the game, and how it shapes you to be who you are.
As I think of how to begin this, I already thought of the ending. And if the ending dictates the way the start of it's written, then I'm really rewinding what isn't. Get it? Swear it gets harder to get it.
With the new project, it's out on all formats. So, you know, iTunes and Amazon, Google Play, you know, all the digital formats and outlets. So also CDs, so you can go to this few CD stores that are left, the few record stores that are left, you can go cop it there on physical if you're into something tangible. And it's also on vinyl, and I think nowadays that's almost a given if you're making hip-hop. You know, if you're making pop or something like that, R&B, you may not need the vinyl, but I think with hip-hop, it's all coming full circle as far as the nostalgic feel, as far as the novelty feel, as far as having something tangible and feeling like you're taking it back in a world that's forcing you to go forward. And I think subliminally that's why a lot of people are gravitating towards vinyl on top of the digital aspect. Digital is going nowhere, but on top of digital, I think fans are going back to vinyl because it makes them feel like they're making a choice in a world that's forcing them to have the choice made for them. So the vinyl aspect is there. And then cassette tapes. You know, a cassette tape is something I wanted to do for a long time. Just growing up the way I did, you know, I'm an 80s baby raised in the early 90s. So, you know, with me, I had tapes. You know, I had Big Tape, Nas tape, J tape, Raekwon tape, the Genius tape. You know, you go down the line, Clue tapes, literal Clue tapes. You know, I had cassette tapes. I had boxes and barrels and, you know, cases of cassette tapes. And I always wanted to have a tape. Growing up, I always wanted to have a tape. You know, and I said when I come out, when I get my record out, when I get my record deal, the CD gonna look like this, and then the tape gonna look like this, and the vinyl gonna look like that. Being, you know, 14, 15 years old, and then even years later, you know, that was how I saw it. So when cassette tapes got phased out, I always missed that period. I felt like I missed that era of being able to say I have my own tape. When the opportunity came along for the vinyl and other formats, you know, I'm doing the vinyl and cassettes with Fat Beats. So I'm doing digital and CDs with Empire, but I'm doing vinyl and cassettes with Fat Beats. The option came along with Fat Beats where they say, hey, you know, we also offer cassettes. I was like, man, sign me up. Absolutely, let's do it. Because it's something that's cool, it's tangible, it's something cool to have to say, yo, here go the tape.
Get it again's more in a sin. It's like product, concealing the end is in a sense. Our lights got us, and sealing the winds where it begins. It's right by us, labeled a type bias. To be one and the same, or maybe they might buy.
When you're dealing with the industry, once you're in the game, once you're in as far as beyond making music, but selling music, you know, beyond making records, but you're selling records. Once you get to that point, you understand the mechanics of it. You understand the politics, and you understand what happens behind the door when it's closed and it's locked shut. So with that, you realize what it is. So I don't get mad at not being on the radio. I can't get mad at not being on the radio because I understand what it is. There are moments where I am on the radio. There is, you know, Sirius XM, the Shade 45s, the Hip Hop Nations that show tons of love. There's also all of the college and independent radio stations that show tons of love. But as far as mainstream terrestrial radio, I know what it is. I know that beast. I know that animal. I know what it consists of. And it's not even something I would get into on camera just because it's not worth it. You know what I mean? But I know what that beast is. So when you're dealing with that, you understand what it is as far as radio. And then you don't get as discouraged because it's different from being at home and saying, why are they playing this on the radio? When I get there, when I get my shot, I'm going to change radio. It's a different animal once you understand what the animal actually is. Then you're like, okay, I get it. How can we combat that? How can we compete against that? How can we align with that? Whatever the case may be for the road that you decide to take.
We saw the doors lifting up, and then they never came down. I mean, they roll around the block with the doors lifted up, like they was flying off the ground. And then they told us that they call those suicide doors. What they call? They said they call those suicide doors. What they call? The brake lights was $100 bill green, and we was green for a suicide door. And as we take this to a further route, the steps move like it's word of mouth.